Welcome back, everyone, to the True Alien Podcast.
The True Alien Podcast.
That's right, your daily dose of all things weird and wonderful in the world of the strange and unexplained.
I like that, weird and wonderful.
Well, we got to keep it light.
Sure.
But, we're talking aliens, we're talking abductions, we're talking UFOs, all that paranormal stuff that keeps you up at night.
And Bigfoot.
Oh, and Bigfoot, of course, can't forget Bigfoot.
Got a Bigfoot in there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So today we are diving deep, folks, into another incredible story. And as always, I am joined by the amazing Julia Jones, our paranormal probe expert extraordinaire.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. And Adrian, I have to tell you this one today. This is a wild one.
Oh, this one's a doozy, isn't it?
It really is. I've been looking over the research you've dug up, and I have so many questions, so many thoughts already.
Well, let's not keep the folks waiting any longer. Let's jump right in. But before we do, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the True Alien Podcast, please show us some love, hit that subscribe button, leave a rating or review. It really helps us out.
Yeah, spread the word.
Spread the word, exactly. All right. So, Julia, today's paranormal probe takes us all the way to the land of pharaohs and pyramids, to ancient Egypt. We're talking about the reign of Akhenaten the Fourth. A pharaoh shrouded in mystery.
Akhenaten the Fourth. Oh, he's a fascinating figure, isn't he? This is the pharaoh who basically said, forget the traditional Egyptian gods. I'm all about the sun disk, Akhenaten, right? He really shook things up.
Yeah, he did. He kind of went against the grain, and that's why he's always been kind of this enigmatic figure in history. And, this story today revolves around the discovery of a previously unknown tomb, a tomb linked to Akhenaten.
Ooh. A hidden tomb, that's always exciting. And this is in the Western Desert, you say?
That's right, the Western Desert. And the discovery was made by an archaeologist named Dr. Amelia Hayes.
Dr. Amelia Hayes, now she's someone I've read about. She has a reputation for being brilliant, but also very skeptical.
Oh, she's a tough nut to crack. She doesn't believe anything without solid evidence.
Which is perfect for this kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
We need someone with a level head who's not going to jump to conclusions just because we're dealing with something a little out of the ordinary.
That's exactly right. And this discovery is definitely out of the ordinary. So picture this. Dr. Hayes and her team are excavating in the Western Desert, and they stumble upon this hidden tomb. The entrance was concealed, almost like it was meant to stay hidden.
A secret tomb. What's the story there? Was it a common practice in ancient Egypt to have these hidden burial places?
Well, some pharaohs did have multiple burial chambers as a way to protect their treasures and their remains from grave robbers.
Right, like a decoy tomb to throw people off the scent.
Exactly. But what's strange about this tomb is its size. It's surprisingly small for a pharaoh like Akhenaten. You'd expect something grand and opulent.
So not a typical pharaoh's tomb. That's interesting. It's almost like they were trying to keep it low-key.
Right. But here's the other thing. It was incredibly well-preserved, almost untouched by time, like it was sealed away and forgotten.
Well-preserved, but small. That is a curious combination. It makes you wonder about the purpose of this tomb.
Yeah, what was it for? Who was it really for?
Exactly. Was it for Akhenaten himself or for someone close to him, maybe someone who wanted to remain hidden even in death?
Okay, so we've got a secret tomb, smaller than expected, but in pristine condition. What do they find inside, Julia? This is where things start to get really weird.
Wait on me, Adrian. What kind of treasures are we talking about?
Well, forget about the usual golden artifacts and, canopic jars and all that.
No glittering riches.
Not this time. Instead, they found something far more bizarre on the walls of the tomb.
The walls, huh? Are we talking hieroglyphs, secret messages?
Oh, there were hieroglyphs, all right. But mixed in with those familiar symbols were these strange figures, unlike anything they'd seen before.
Okay, color me intrigued. What do you mean by strange figures? What did they look like?
Imagine these elongated, almost stick-like figures with these incredibly long limbs and huge almond-shaped eyes.
Whoa. That's not your typical ancient Egyptian artwork. That's for sure. They usually depicted humans in a very specific way, right? Very symmetrical and proportional.
Right, broad shoulders, strong features.
And those almond-shaped eyes you mentioned, it's hard not to make a connection to the stereotypical image of an alien, right? The big black eyes.
I know, right? It's uncanny. So were these just some, artistic liberties taken by the ancient Egyptians? Or did Dr. Hayes stumble into something truly alien?
That's a million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, Egyptian art was so steeped in tradition, there was a reason for everything they depicted. So to have these figures that completely broke from that norm is very intriguing.
And hold on, it gets even weirder woven among the hieroglyphs, were these geometric symbols that no one could identify.
Unidentified symbols, like a secret code.
That's what it looks like. They don't match any known form of Egyptian writing.
That is fascinating. A real mystery. Could it be A lost language, some kind of ancient cipher? Or could it be something else entirely, something extraterrestrial?
My mind goes straight to aliens, but we have to be careful, right? We can't just jump to conclusions. There could be a perfectly rational explanation for these symbols.
Of course, we have to be skeptical, but the combination of these symbols with the strange figures, it's definitely something that warrants further investigation.
Okay, so we've got bizarre artwork and cryptic symbols. But the story doesn't end there. Deep inside the tomb, the team discovered a hidden chamber, almost like a secret room within a secret tomb.
A hidden chamber within a hidden tomb. This is like an archaeological mystery novel unfolding before our very eyes.
I know, right? And inside this chamber, there was only one thing, a single sarcophagus.
Just one. No other treasures, no other artifacts. Just a lone sarcophagus. That's very unusual. It's like they were predicting something very specific.
Right, and when they finally opened that sarcophagus, Julia, well, it wasn't what anyone expected.
Okay, you've really got me on the edge of my seat here. What was inside? Was it a mummy? A pharaoh covered in gold.
Not even close. Brace yourself, Julia. They found a perfectly smooth metallic sphere, and it was emitting this soft internal light.
A glowing metallic sphere. Are you serious? That's not something you find in your typical Egyptian tomb.
I know, right? No bandages, no elaborate death mask. Just this enigmatic orb glowing saucily in the darkness.
What did it look like? Was it warm to the touch? Were there any markings on it?
The reports describe it as completely smooth, no seams, no markings, just a flawless sphere of metal.
I have so many questions, Adrian. How big was it? What kind of metal was it made of?
Those details aren't clear from the reports, but what we do know is that Dr. Hayes couldn't resist.
Yeah.
She reached out and touched the sphere.
Oh, of course she did. Curiosity gets the better of us all. What happened? Did it zap her? Did it open up a portal to another dimension?
Okay, well, maybe not a portal, but she did report feeling this jolt of energy course through her body, and then her mind was flooded with images, starscapes, advanced machinery, and this overwhelming sense of alien intelligence.
A mental download just from touching this sphere? That's incredible. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction. But if we're to believe Dr. Hayes' account, then this wasn't just some random artifact. This was something truly extraordinary.
And the strangeness didn't end there once the sphere was moved to the team's camp. Things started to get really weird.
Weird how? What happened?
Electronic equipment began, malfunctioning compasses were spinning erratically, and there were reports of strange lights in the night sky.
Classic UFO activity. That's what they always say, right? Electromagnetic interference, strange lights in the sky.
It does sound familiar, doesn't it? But was it just a coincidence, or was it connected to the presence of that sphere?
It's hard to say for sure, but the timing is certainly suspicious, isn't it? As soon as they bring this object into their camp, all these strange phenomena start happening.
And then came the encounter that changed everything one night. Dr. Hayes was working late in her tent when a figure appeared before her.
A figure. Like a ghost. A spirit.
Not quite. Amelia described it as tall and slender with skin that shimmered like polished metal.
Okay. That's not a ghost. That sounds more like an alien, a classic gray type alien.
Right. And it moved with this unnatural grace, almost like it was gliding. And its eyes, Julia, its eyes were large and dark, radiating intelligence.
Just like those figures in the tomb paintings, it's all starting to connect, isn't it?
And here's the thing, this being communicated with Amelia telepathically in what she described as melodic tones that resonated within her mind.
Telepathic communication, that's another common theme in alien encounter stories. It's like they're able to bypass language and communicate directly with our thoughts.
And the messages being conveyed was shocking. It claimed that Akhenaten was a conduit chosen to receive knowledge from extraterrestrial beings.
So Akhenaten wasn't just a pharaoh who decided to worship the sun. He was chosen by aliens to receive their wisdom.
That's what is being claimed. And it also said that the sphere, the glowing sphere, was a key to unlocking profound universal secrets.
A key to universal secrets. What does that even mean? The secrets of the universe, the origins of life, the nature of reality.
It's all very cryptic, isn't it? But the being also issued a warning. It said that revealing this knowledge to the world could be dangerous. It could lead to chaos and upheaval.
A warning to stay silent? It's almost like they're saying humanity isn't ready for this knowledge.
And then it dropped the bombshell. It mentioned a hidden network of extraterrestrial observers who've been guiding humanity's evolution for millennia.
Whoa, okay. That is a big claim. A hidden network of aliens watching over us, influencing our development. It's like something straight out of ancient astronaut theories.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then the next morning, the sphere was gone, vanished without a trace.
The sphere disappeared. Did they search for it? Was there any sign of a struggle?
The camp was in disarray. But there was no sign of forced entry or any indication of how the sphere could have been taken.
Like they just came and took it back.
Like it was never really ours to begin with.
So what happened next? Did Dr. Hayes abandon her research? Did she go to the authorities?
Despite everything she'd experienced, Amelia remained focused on those mysterious hieroglyphs. She was determined to decipher them, to understand what she'd stumbled upon.
That's impressive. I mean, after an encounter like that, I think most people would be running for the hills, but she stayed and tried to make sense of it all.
She's a true scientist, dedicated to uncovering the truth, and according to her interpretation of the hieroglyphs, Akhenaten had made a pact with these extraterrestrial beings.
A pact? Like a deal? What kind of deal?
He agreed to conceal their presence on Earth in exchange for their advanced technology and a deeper understanding of the universe.
So Akhenaten wasn't just some eccentric pharaoh. He was actively working with aliens to keep their existence a secret.
That's what the hieroglyphs seem to suggest in the sphere, the glowing sphere. It was apparently a communication device.
A way for them to stay in touch with Akhenaten, perhaps.
And its disappearance wasn't a theft. It was a retrieval. They took it back when they were finished.
Like hanging up the phone after a long conversation.
Exactly. They shared their knowledge, they left, and they took their cosmic cell phone with them.
So what about Dr. Hayes? What did she do with all this information? Did she share her findings with the world?
That's the thing, Julia. She made a decision that would change everything. She chose to keep it all secret.
She kept it a secret. Why? Did she explain her reasoning?
She was afraid of the consequences. She believed that revealing the truth about alien contact could lead to global panic, mass hysteria, maybe even societal collapse.
I can understand her concerns. I mean, think about it. If the world suddenly learned that we're not alone, that we've been visited and possibly even influenced by extraterrestrial beings, it could throw everything into chaos.
And she was also worried about attracting unwanted attention from these beings. You know, what if they weren't as benevolent as they seemed? What if they saw humanity as a threat?
It's a valid concern. We just don't know enough about them to be sure of their intentions.
So Amelia made her choice. She resealed the tomb, buried the secrets once more, and left Egypt carrying the weight of her knowledge with her.
Wow, what a story. A secret tomb, strange artwork, a glowing sphere, an alien encounter, and a decision that could impact the fate of humanity.
That's a lot to process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was she right to keep it all secret? Should she have shared her findings with the world? What do you think, Julia?
It's a tough call. Adrian, on one hand, humanity has a right to know the truth about its place in the universe. But on the other hand, the potential for chaos and disruption is very real. We just don't know how people would react to such a revelation.
That's a classic dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowledge versus safety.
Exactly. And in this case, I think Amelia made the best decision she could with the information she had at the time.
It's a reminder that sometimes the truth can be a dangerous thing.
It can be, and it's something we have to grapple with as we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe.
Absolutely. So, folks, we've reached the end of another incredible paranormal probe here on the True Alien Podcast. We've journeyed to ancient Egypt, uncovered a hidden tomb, encountered strange artifacts, and faced the ultimate question: what do we do when the truth is too big to handle?
It's a question that's going to stay with me for a while, Adrian.
Me too. And I'm sure it's going to spark a lot of discussion among our listeners.
I hope so. We need to keep these conversations going. We need to keep searching for answers, even when they're difficult to face.
Absolutely. So thank you all for joining us on this journey into the unknown. And as always, keep those eyes on the skies and stay curious.
Stay curious, everyone, and until next time, keep exploring the weird and wonderful world of the paranormal.
We'll see you next time on the True Alien Podcast.